Okay, so this is a stress reliever and a way to release the pelvic floor, because sometimes tightening it too much is not a good thing. So we have to have a balanced, everything has to be balanced in our body. So every muscle, including the pelvic floor, has to be able to rest completely. It has to be resilient and supple and strong. So this is how we are going to work that portion of the pelvic floor, and I'm going to throw in a great stretch for your spine as well. So please take a seat. You can do this first part seated or standing, but since we're going to do a stretch laying down, we're going to start laying down. So we are going to inhale into our lower belly. Feel it rise and fall. And it's hard when your pelvic floor is really tight because you cannot breathe into your lower belly. All right, after a few breaths there, you can feel that lower belly release. Let's put our hands on our hip bones on the inside edge. And as you inhale, I'm gently going to pull the hip bones apart. And as I exhale, I'm gently going to press them in. Now the pelvis is heavy, like lead. It's not moving, and I'm just letting my breath kind of open up the lower pelvis and lower stomach. Next, we're going to focus on the pelvic floor. As you inhale and you expand the front of the hips, imagine that your pelvic floor is just releasing and sort of unfolding and opening up. You're not forcing anything. It's just your breath that's allowing this to happen. And this is just sort of the beginning, and you can do this at the beginning of any meditation that you're doing, focusing on breathing into the ribs, under the arms, and different parts of your body. But begin with the pelvis, because that is really where a lot of people get tense. And if you find that you're really having trouble focusing and letting go, especially with today, with everything being thrown at us instantly, this is a good place to start, just relaxing the pelvic floor. You can do this in the bath, you can do this anytime. Just really try to let it go. From here, we're going into our wonderful bridge. So I'd like you to imagine that your spine is hollow, and it's just a hollow tube. Inside that tube, we've placed a marble. One of my girlfriends, Marilyn, likes to call this a diamond. It can be whatever you want. So we're going to place something, a diamond or a marble or any precious stone, in that little tube. And it begins at your tailbone. And as you curl under, you'll start to feel that the marble, the diamond, whatever, starts to roll up the tube past your belly button, all the way up to the sternum, all the way up to the base of the throat and neck. And then as you roll down, start to peel it down. You'll start to feel it rolling down the tube. Let your tailbone curl under, and then untip the pelvis completely. So as you do this, adjust your feet. Make sure you're not putting weight on the outside of the feet, because that's just going to tighten up the IT band. We don't want that. And again, weight into the big toe mound. You'll squeeze your bottom. You'll pull your belly button in. You'll lift the hips up. And sometimes I like to press my elbows into the mat just to kind of, and it'll help me push my weight forward so there's no weight in the head and neck. And then we peel down. So we're going to add on to this. Now from here, we bridge up again, peeling up. Now start to make one side heavier. So I'm going to start on my left side. I'll let my left side get a little heavier. And I'm really focusing on the vertebra. Even though my hip dropped, I'm just trying to go down the left side of my spine, allowing the marble to roll down the tube. At the very end, we're going to untip the pelvis and lift it back up. Now I have to do something special on my right side, and Josie, I don't have one side specifically for you at this point, but I suspect it would be your left, where you would have to take that left sit bone and stretch it toward your right heel as you peel down. And you'll know when you do it, which side needs a little more of a stretch. So again, it's not just dropping the hips. we roll up the center and then we start to really go down the side of the spine. And then we relax completely. Again, imagine that marble. And I'm going a little faster. If you can go slower, that would be better. But this is just a great way to sort of unwind the back if your lower back has tightened up in any way. So I'm going to have you add this as part of your release. So you can do this part first. You can do the pelvic floor tightening and the squats, and putting all of those together is going to help balance everything out. Let me know if you have any questions.